A WWE superstar has confirmed that they are dating an AEW wrestler, and we have the latest on the wrestling return of Bray Wyatt. But first, a former AEW star has said his goodbye to the company. Earlier this week, it was revealed that the Dark Order's Stu Grayson had left All Elite Wrestling after failing to agree terms to a new contract. Last night, Grayson would take to Twitter to confirm that his contract expired on April 30th, before sending a message to his former Dark Order stablemates, and he would write, "On April 30th, my contract with AEW expired. Best of luck to everyone working for AEW, our great production and medical team, and of course every man and woman who steps into the ring. And to my Dark Order family, I hope the world will soon see what you are truly capable of." The last part of the tweet could suggest that Grayson feels the Dark Order aren't getting the spotlight that he feels they should be, which perhaps may be a factor in him leaving. It's unknown what the future holds for Stu Grayson at this point, with him joining Joey Janela, Jack Evans and Marco Stunt as the latest wrestlers to leave AEW. Next, two Impact Wrestling stars have confirmed their departure from the company. Last night, Jonah, the former Bronson Reed in NXT, would reveal on Twitter that he is done with Impact, at least for now, with him telling the promotion that he'll see them down the road. His exit follows his recent appearance in a Monsters Ball match where he lost to PCO on March 5th on an episode of Impact Television. Later on, Jonah's colleague Willie Mack would also reveal that he's left Impact Wrestling, confirming that his contract has expired, with him turning down their latest offer for a new deal. Mack would state that he will be returning to the independent scene and is now open to bookings. He's been with Impact since October 2018, with his last match taking place this past Thursday night, where he teamed with Rich Swann in a loss to Bullet Club's Jay White and Chris Bay. Next up, a world champion has been involved in a car accident. Yesterday, Impact Wrestling world champion Josh Alexander would share a video on Twitter showing his car and damage that had occurred during the incident. It's believed that Alexander was in the car with members of his family when the crash occurred, with him confirming in the tweet that everyone is okay. He would caption the video with an emotional message and said, "My 7-year-old thinks it's lame to tell me he loves me. I always tell him and say, we say I love you just in case we never get another chance. We say it as much as we can. This is why. Tell your people, whoever they are. Everyone's fine. Seconds or inches saved us. We are very lucky." Thankfully, it appears that nobody was hurt in the accident, with the only damage taking place to the car. In terms of wrestling, Josh is set to defend his Impact World title tonight at Impact Under Siege, where he takes on New Japan Pro Wrestling's Tomohiro Ishii in his second title defense. Now let's go across to All Elite Wrestling and take a look at the latest from the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. During last night's episode of AEW Rampage, the final qualification match for the women's side of the tournament would take place when former women's world champion Riho battled Yuka Sakazaki. In the end, Riho would advance to the first round, scoring a win with a surprise inside cradle, becoming the 7th woman to qualify. She joins Toni Storm, Ruby Soho, Red Velvet, Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker, and Hikaru Shida in the women's bracket, meaning there is now 3 former women's world champions in the tournament. The bracket for the tournament was then released, with matches taking place as follows. Toni Storm is set to take on Jamie Hayter, Riho will fight Ruby Soho, Red Velvet takes on Hikaru Shida, and Dr. Britt Baker DMD is going up against a mystery Joker entrant. There is currently no word on who will fill the Joker spot, although fans have begun speculating on names such as Athena, the former Ember Moon, as well as recent WWE departure Candice LeRae, who has certain Southern California-based friends in the company. But who do you think will be the Joker entrant for the Owen Hart tournament, and who do you think will walk away as the winner? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, Cody Rhodes has discussed his jump from AEW to WWE. On the latest episode of the Broken Skull Sessions, Cody would speak with host Stone Cold Steve Austin, where he discussed his early WWE career as well as leaving for the independent circuit before joining AEW. Rhodes would go into detail on his run in All Elite Wrestling, where he was also an EVP, revealing the struggles of being the boss whilst also being an active wrestler. He would say that he feels he gave up too much on screen to avoid heat in the locker room, which includes giving up the chance at ever competing for the world title again. And he would say, In the beginning of AEW, there are not many guys who have this connection with the fans. Why would we forego that? This is on me. These were my decisions. It was very hard for me to figure out. I needed someone in my life to say, am I doing the right thing? Is this right? Is this the guy or girl we need to push forward? I didn't have anyone. I had got there to where the potency of me doing the honors, it went from doing the honors to doing the job. I've done plenty, Stardust happened. As Arn pointed out, I have to get some for me. He would not chew me out because technically I was his boss, but he would pretty much let me know. He was very helpful. Arn is always right. I probably should have listened to him far more when I was there. I did not want to be a gatekeeper wrestler. I did not want to be this is Cody's thing AEW. Some people look at it that way, not everybody does. First program, they wrestle Cody, then they do Chris Jericho's podcast. There's a whole meme about it. I didn't want to be a gatekeeper. Cody would conclude that the ultimate reason he left AEW for WWE was the fact that he wants to take Arn Anderson's advice and get some for him, doubling down on his goal to win the WWE Championship, which was hanging behind him during the interview. But what do you make of Cody Rhodes' comments on his All Elite Wrestling departure? And do you agree that he'd been reduced from a main eventer to a gatekeeper? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, could a big change be coming to WWE? This week, during an episode of the Wrestling Observer Live, Bryan Alvarez and Dave Meltzer would discuss rumors that titles within WWE are set to be unified, such as the tag belts and the US and Intercontinental belts. At WrestleMania 38 in April, the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship were unified, only adding to the speculation. Despite teases on television that the Raw and SmackDown tag titles were set to be unified, Meltzer would say that although we've seen talent crossover on both brands as of late, Fox, who broadcast SmackDown, in fact want more exclusivity on wrestlers and less crossover, and he would note, both networks kind of want unique rosters. You can do some of that back and forth, but really Fox really wants kind of exclusivity on its guys. Alvarez would go on to add that networks have been unhappy that they weren't getting certain names on their show, leading to the recent crossovers such as Roman Reigns appearing on Raw despite being a SmackDown superstar. Despite this, it seems Fox wants their stars to remain exclusive to SmackDown, which means we shouldn't expect any more title unification matches in the future if the report is to be believed. But do you think WWE should have titles for each brand, or do you think they should unify them all? Let me know in the comments down below. And next up, a WWE superstar has confirmed that she is dating a current AEW wrestler. In recent weeks, there has been social media speculation that former Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley was dating Buddy Matthews of the House of Black, with them often being seen together in photos. There had been no public confirmation on the matter until now. Ripley would respond to a fan on Twitter earlier this week who had asked what Buddy has that they don't, with her simply replying, me. In the past, Matthews had had a public relationship with fellow wrestler Alexa Bliss during his time in WWE as Murphy, although they would confirm their breakup in September 2018. The news of this new relationship with Rhea makes him the latest AEW star that is dating a WWE superstar, joining Andrade El Idolo, who is engaged to Charlotte Flair, as well as Malachi Black, who is married to Zelina Vega. And finally, we have another update concerning the wrestling return of Bray Wyatt. The now Wyndham hasn't been seen in a wrestling ring since WrestleMania 37 last year, with him being released from WWE in July 2021. Since then, he has pursued outside projects, including playing a starring role in a horror movie, which recently wrapped up filming. In the latest news surrounding the Wyndham situation, we have a story coming from the Wrestling Observer newsletter, where Dave Meltzer noted that Wyatt had been making around $4 million when he was cut from WWE last year and was among the top 3 or 4 highest paid talents on the roster. Meltzer would also add that Wyndham was the company's top merchandise seller in 2019, the year that he introduced The Fiend, and has been near the top of the charts for the past few years. The report would also add that there has been interest from several promotions to bring Wyndham in, but they were all too far apart on money. On top of this, a source close to Wyndham has told WrestlingNews.co that he is very smart with his money and is financially secure, and they wouldn't be surprised if he never came back to wrestling. Despite some fans being unhappy with Windham for asking for too much money, it's worth remembering that he is a proven draw and sells a boatload of merchandise, and he arguably justifies a high salary, with companies no doubt seeing a return in investment. Whether or not Windham pops up in a wrestling ring again remains to be seen, but he has recently gone on record to say that he misses wrestling and is in great health. With that said, he doesn't need to wrestle for a living anymore, with anything he does from this point likely being a passion project rather than to put food on his table. And before you go, make sure you check out the 12 most obscure WWE appearances from AEW wrestlers.